Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Not Me. This week we have watched episode 4 of Not Me. We are in the thick of it at this point. As
There's
always,
10 episodes left, but
as always,
we're in the thick.
I'm Adam.
And I'm RJ. Hello.
Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Good.
Oh, you're doing things on down that tree too?
Nuts.
Okay.
The girlies really liked having it as ornaments, so.
Yeah. How do you feel
About the show?
Yeah. I really liked this episode.
I really like this episode too, but I feel like not a lot happened.
No, I don't think so either, but I think I like going back
Being able to pace it.
Going back to White's
trying
objective.
to figure. Yes, I totally agree.
Like I feel like we lost that in the
Yeah.
two episodes 2 and 3, and now we're going back to it.
Yeah, because it was so focused on like Black was pulled right before a big mission, so like
so we had to get context
we had
and
to get
everything.
them right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I am enjoying it. I will be curious about pacing wise, like if the payoff of having 14 episodes was worth it. Because right now I feel like I have to see the whole thing, but it feels like there's a lot of extra stuff that I'm sure this will pay off later.
I feel like a lot of the
of
extra stuff I feel like I'm getting, I can tell is going to be important.
Yeah.
Like I
It's a
feel like
lot
it's
of
all too
laying stuff in.
specific
For
it to just be like, oh, passing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like even in this episode when
the guy
when
panel or the
lecture
speaker,
when Sean brings up like that specific case, I was like, oh, that's
I
why he
think
was
something
crying.
happened. I think his family
Fully died.
I think it's a stay with me, a History of Three Traps
Something
situation.
for sure.
Yeah.
So the episode starts off, as I just said, where they had been sleeping together. They had like held hands because he didn't trust him because he was going through his bag, right? So Sean
Was having a night
having
terror.
a night terror and was crying in his sleep, and it woke White up. Have you ever cried in your sleep? Have you ever woken up because you were crying?
I think so. I definitely have had like dreams where it's like really scary, and I woke up and like
Yeah.
You've had a few of those.
I've had a few where I wake up and I'm crying.
Yeah.
And it's always like a loved one died. Not always. Sometimes
when
it's Friedrich.
But when it is me, Adam is very nice in the morning, and then that like rubs off as soon as he wakes up a little bit more.
As soon as I get out of bed, yeah.
You're like, oh, you're still here?
Oh, damn.
Oh,
it was a dream. Would this freak you out if you woke up?
No, because you make similar sound. You also wince in your sleep a lot.
What does that mean?
You like,
Oh.
So I'm kind of used to it.
Great.
Then I'm like, it's okay. That's literally what I do.
Cortisol.
I literally go, it's okay. Oh, it's the cortisol?
It's the cortisol, girl. I gotta drink that mushroom coffee.
Yeah.
Get rid of that cortisol. Bring my cortisol levels down, bitch.
It's just because
That's
Adam,
why I'm ugly in the morning. That's why.
Adam just is such a deep sleeper.
I am.
So like, and then sometimes his own breathing will scare him and wake him up in his deep sleep. Like it's a rhythm now where it's like,
Cool. Amazing.
and Friedrich and I are just like,
Okay.
no one cares.
You don't have to perform.
You don't have to perform that I'm
There's
sleeping.
I'm so sleepy. So he ends up like holding
him.
White.
Yes.
And then when they wake up later, he's like,
He tries to pull away, but then he's like, whoa, what? Yeah.
no homo, bro.
Yeah. But he does the full, maybe it's C. Because that's how I sleep when I hold. I do full arm and leg.
Yes, you do full arm and leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. So then as like a fun way to say like, good morning. How are you? How was your day? I made breakfast.
Yeah.
Gumpa throws in an open canister of tear gas.
Well, this
as,
is
like, a little
when
test.
when we stay at the 4-Point Sheraton.
I don't stay places unless they're willing to throw tear gas into my room.
Yeah, that's
to
my
wake me up.
preferred wake up call.
Correct. I think you should get options other than just the ring, just the phone call.
I will say, there is something chic about a wake up call. Like your phone really literally.
I love
your
a
hotel
wake up
literally
call.
calling
I love
you
a
and
hotel
going,
wake up call.
"Hello, this is your wake up call."
And that's it.
Thank you.
That's it.
There's something so chic about it.
Because it's like, especially now, I think now especially,
Right.
there's something very chic about it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like kind of the only option.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use those like shitty
alarms that they put in.
But half the time it was like, now I have to learn an alarm. Like,
Yeah.
how do I set up the alarm? Blah, blah,
Oh my God, the worst part is when it just defaults to midnight and all of a sudden it like rings.
Oh my God, the worst. No, there is something very chic about a wake-up call. Yeah. And I think they should do like, I think wake-up calls, I think we should expand our horizons. If I was in the hospitality industry, which I'm not, but if I was in the hospitality industry and I was going and I was like, this is free for you girls.
Yeah, for any hotel and restaurant managers out there.
And I'm saying like a nicer, a 4 or 5 star. Okay, the only places we stay at.
A little Indigo moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yes. Something that has a kitchen.
Oh, you're talking about the room specifically.
I would say a wake-up call, there could be like just the call. There could be like, can you wake me up by can you like knock on the door and deliver this at this time? Like my breakfast. You want to talk about chic? You wake up and then immediately have pancakes waiting for you?
Well, if it's just the smell of breakfast that you want as your wake-up call, just stay with my mom. She's cooking dried fish at 6 a.m.
No.
Every time I stay with him, I swear to God, I'm like, it is 6:30.
Your mom?
Why is she making breakfast?
But your mom
doesn't
your mom doesn't ever try to switch back to Philippine time. She'll still be on Arizona time, and she just like goes to bed whenever she gets tired.
I know.
So yes, Gumpa tests them with this tear gas moment.
And I didn't know that you're supposed to pour water, he says you should have. You had enough water and blankets in your whatever that you could like turn it off rather than like treating yourself. And that was the lesson.
You would basically like. I think you would like douse the blanket and then cover the canister to like dampen it.
Which is like what they did in the fire. And then what they're doing here, it seems like that's the go-to solution for the crimes that they keep committing.
Stay wet.
And
then if you don't...
Well, if I keep watching first,
you know what? We're just here having a nice conversation, a nice academic conversation, and you come in here with filth. While they're like struggling to get out, White does save Sean.
I guess technically he does wet a shirt and throw it on his face or whatever.
Whatever he does. So then Sean is like, later after they get scolded by Gumpa, he's like, why did you do that? And White's like, White doesn't have an answer really.
No, he's just like,
no, I know, but we can't keep harping on this. That he's never going to figure out how to be black.
Yes, yeah,
fine.
But I wish he could. I wish there was a leaning in on like, yes, I'm different now, or whatever.
At this point, I feel like I would be like,
I think that's what everyone else is doing.
But like, what's the end game? Like black
trying to find blacks
might no. Yes, that's his like actual objective. Yeah. But like, what happens when Black comes back? When Black gets better, he's not dead. It's different if Black had died.
Yeah,
you're now assuming Black's identity. Black is just in the hospital recovering, ostensibly.
Yeah.
Maybe it will take a while, but like at some point, hopefully Black is going to like come back and then be a bitch again. So it's like, I was on vacation.
Here's what I think. I think someone is going to find out. They're going to be like, oh my God, Black is in the hospital.
See,
and then they find out, he's been there so it's going to be like Gumpa in the hospital looking at Black. And they,
what a scene.
Yeah. Then it's like, then who have I been talking to? Who have I been training?
I hope that happens.
I think it's going to be like they discover Black rather than watch it be literally Black recovers and he just appears. White has like completely forgotten to check on Black or whatever, and he's fully recovered.
Because they have made Black a person who is like, at
Never-
this point, he is like not a good person.
Not a good person. Alpha, but then like
a dick. Right? Like, I would say
Just, like,
Gumpa
tells
has like
them what to
alpha
do.
energy, but is like,
Yeah.
it's all in service of like making sure they're going to be okay if they go do these missions.
Someone left a Patreon comment that was like, for a bunch of anarchists, they're not really like, it's like all passion and all like, I want to do this.
Well, isn't that the point of anarchy? Is that
Yes,
there's
that's
no
true, but there's no, like-
regulation, basically?
or like planning.
yeah, it's all chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is chaos magic Wanda.
This is Chaos Magic Wanda. So when he questions White, and White has like an answer being like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Or he like tries to get like weasel out of it by being like, I just didn't want to be yelled at by Gumpa. And then he was
Yes,
like,
yeah.
oh, so now all of a
Now
sudden
you care about being scolded or whatever.
He's like, fine, next time I'll let you rot in hell, you bitch, or whatever.
Literally.
Very Dynasty energy.
Yeah.
There is a flashback of a mission they did where
Mission
it was
Breakout,
like,
honey.
yeah, where it was like they were doing
It's just like graffiti. Yeah.
graffiti paint.
What is that called?
Defacing?
Defacing things.
Because somebody did a thing or whatever, and then they like were getting caught, and and Black just like ran away. But I thought because I feel like in the past like one or either episode 2 or episode 3, I said like I really wish we could see something Black was doing so I could get a feeling of like
How different White
what's
is
happening.
being,
Yeah,
but it's making
and
it
I
so
was like,
weird.
oh my god, they heard my plea.
for
'Cause,
4
like,
years in the future.
First of all, Gunn does this so well. He has 3 seconds in this
Right.
to fully be like, oh,
And
this
just
is a
eyes,
different
he's wearing a
person.
mask. That's why it was such a big gag, because we were like, because it's literally just in the eyes.
Mm-hmm. But Gunn is so good that it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's Black. That's actually a different person.
Yes,
It's so good.
totally.
He's so good. Yuck's
Yuck.
storyline, which is like with the Unar graffiti mome, it's a bit on a hiatus this week.
Yes.
We get one little thing where he has seen on Instagram
It's the same painting.
the
as
one from the
trampoline.
But
'Cause
he added something.
no, he wrote on the caption, "I'm just reposting old pictures because I think I'm being watched."
I'm being followed. Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the zoom in, he saw
he
that
noticed it
one
later.
of the people holding the trampoline is
it's
Yok,
him. It's Yok.
because he's holding the fire.
He's holding the torch.
and like wearing what he wore. That
Yeah.
day. So literally, but Yok's reaction is full like rom-com, like,
So he's
so he
Into me.
likes me.
he's into me. Okay, I can work
Wow,
with
like,
this.
literally- What?
Yeah,
It's so funny.
they jumped straight to BL.
I know.
Like the other two are a slow burn. This is like
This is like, oh,
off
it's
the
love
gate.
at first sight.
love at first sight.
Crimes at first sight, honey.
Gun to head at second sight. You know, so that's a slay. Congrats to Yok. White receives from who, by the way? Was this from Todd? White receives a video, a short clip of a video of Eugene.
He was reading Black's text.
Oh, he was just going through his phone.
Yes.
So and then he sends it to Graham and is like, hey,
Who is this?
Hey, who's this? Which is, again, you gotta do it better, Diva. But
Well, he just
you know
sends the
what?
video, doesn't even say it. And Grandma's like, why'd you send me a video of Eugene?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, Eugene.
Yeah.
Which is who?
Who again?
I can't remember.
Diva.
But you know what? Honestly, the way no one's asking questions,
They're
he's
all-
right to do so.
Yeah. He's like, well, no one's That's the thing. He knows no one's catching on. So he's like, okay, then I can just keep
I can just
doing this.
keep doing this poorly. So he sends over the video to Graham, who explains that this is his ex-girlfriend, Eugene.
And says, but you guys you guys have broken up a long time ago.
You guys broke up, so it's fine.
Immediately when Graham responds, why did you text a video of Eugene? That was when I felt it.
Had a
I was like,
suspicion.
oh, he's seeing her now.
That I didn't get. I would say later when he
Gets outed, or like his ex says, like, well, you're seeing someone from the faculty. or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh,
Uh-oh.
I see. So we've lost Graham.
To the-
Graham's straight. Good luck. I heard it's really hard for straight people.
Yeah.
And I pray
Just
for
in
them.
general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it's very difficult for them out in these BL universes where everyone's gay. It must be very hard to be the minority.
Yeah. But technically, everyone's straight right now.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Yuck is having some feelings, honey.
Yuck is going through it.
Yeah, Yuck is going through it. Yeah.
Yuck's a late bloomer. Yeah, I guess technically everyone's straight. Well, Sean, is with Norma. No, what's her name?
Norma Desmond.
Norma Desmond. What is her name?
No.
Namo.
No, Namo.
But he's not with
Mamo, but with an N.
Uh-huh. But he's not with her.
No.
It doesn't matter. Todd, who we remember from the first few episodes.
Yes. Who was a childhood friend who discovered or who told White that Black is in trouble.
Yes.
Okay. And has helped White become Black.
Yes.
He is a rich boy.
He's rich. He is stupid rich. He owns the building that
He
they
owns
live
the building.
in.
I mean, it's very.
His dad died, left
It's
it to
very
him.
top in OnlyFriends, where it's I own this building.
It's
I
very
also
top
live
in
here.
OnlyFriends. Yeah.
He's in a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And I just get vibe because he's so ostentatiously rich, and that we see him
extravagantly
we
rich.
see him on the jacuzzi, on the hot tub, hey, come in,
I think
have
this
a drink.
I think this is filmed exquisitely.
Oh, totally.
In the way it frames him, you almost immediately, because it's also he has that they're using that hot tub underwater lighting.
Yeah.
So it is coming up on
very
him.
Lex Luthor.
There's something Bad News Bears going on.
Yes, very
here.
Bruce Wayne energy with it.
I will be gagged if he is a good guy this whole time.
I know. It's so. I just feel the themes of the show is making it rich people fucking suck.
Which, sure.
Which
yeah.
they do.
Correct.
And so I just think that it's probably gonna be him.
If it wasn't that he was if he was just oh, he has money, but what,
It's choosing not to do anything with it.
It's the fact that they highlighted that he
owns the
this
building. I know.
And is
now that I'm so
insanely
now
wealthy.
I'm so hyper aware of all these little tiny details that they'll just say.
Yeah.
They'll just throw away as a line.
Because this is a themes show. This is not a character.
Yes.
There's character growth obviously happening, but it's not about let's examine this relationship between two people. You know
all
what
the
I mean?
lines are so presentational in that way.
Yeah.
Where it's my father, I own the build.
Yeah.
Very much laying it out
But I actually think it really works with Todd because he knows the truth about White, so he is actually explaining
explaining things to him
yeah,
oh no, I own the building.
Yeah.
There's just I just get a
I
really
think he's hot too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in because I know you are rich.
There's something
He plays
about
it
the
off
way
really well.
he's delivering it as he has this
Yes, he has no care in the world. He's not concerned
fine.
with anything.
Right.
Even though it's so weird because it's shouldn't you be concerned because you're technically helping someone who got beat up by a gang?
So our theory is he's involved somehow in what happened to
my
Black.
theory is that he's the one who enacted the thing, and that's why he calls White.
Why would he be trying to help White? What does he get out of the fact that no one would find out that Black is hurt?
Maybe then. I think he thinks that White won't get it, or he.
I don't know if that's true. I think he thinks White's gonna get it. I think I don't think he's leading him on the direct path to it. This is why I don't. I think there is a possibility that yes, he's trying to lead him off the path, which is why he pushes him.
But
to
maybe it's
go
not
to
him.
Eugene.
Maybe he's protecting Tawi. Maybe.
I feel Tawi has to be the ultimate villain of the show. It would be
Yes.
bonkers to me if it's not. We're bringing down Tawi at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's actually it's Principal Skinner, I would be oh.
And they haven't showed him. That's the craziest part.
Right. Well, they're purposefully holding back on showing him.
Yeah.
There's going to be a huge reveal later in the show. I can feel it coming. Okay.
I think Sean and Tawi are related.
That would be fun. That would be very interesting if they were like brothers.
Brothers or something that like
Something.
Tawi is directly the reason why Sean has nothing. Whether that's
Okay,
killed
well,
his
let's
whole
get to.
family
Okay,
or what.
this leads us perfectly into this lecture.
Thank you.
So there is a law and poli-sci joint lecture. So
Because there are two
we got it wrong in the first
honey.
episode. They are black / white are in the law, and Graham
Mhm.
and Miss Diva
And Miss
Boots
Diva and the doll.
are in the law
Yes.
department.
Yeah.
They're pre-law, and
Sean is poli-sci.
Sean is poli-sci. That's what it is. I think we had it mixed up.
And Yak is an artist.
And Yak is in
Fine arts.
visual arts.
Yeah.
And they have a joint lecture today. So this guy comes in and teaches them about impunity. Now
Adam.
I think because it was framed as a lecture, I was less annoyed by this like explanation.
Rather
Do you know
than
what I mean?
rather than Graham
Them
and the
explaining
doll being like, well, when we talked about blah 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 in class.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's impunity, Adam?
Impunity, this is from Wikipedia. Go donate. Impunity is the ability to act with exemption from punishments, losses, or other negative consequences. Impunity is failure to bring perpetrators of human rights violations to justice, and as such, itself constitutes a denial of the victim's right to justice and redress. There is also part of this that talks about rule of law. This does not say that the opposite of rule of law is rule by law. This says the opposite of rule of law is rule of man. That's the opposite, which is what you don't want. Because then it's arbitrary.
Now, Adam, it's very interesting you talk about impunity. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's going on right now.
It feels like it is going... I mean, like, okay. It's going on everywhere.
It's going on everywhere.
It's going on globally. It's going on in every country on earth. It's
going on in our...
It's going on, for sure. And I think what is probably really, like, there is... you know what? I'm going to commit that I'm going to, like, look up just a cursory glance of, like, what was going
happening
on politically
in
in Thailand.
during this
because
time.
it's such a piece that is clearly
commenting on what's happening.
on something. And I am fascinated by that idea of being bold enough to do that on this, like, state-funded channel.
Yeah.
And also, like, what specifically is it? Like, is it close enough that Tawi is clearly, like, a person they're commenting on? Or is Tawi just, like, a trope
so
to fill in
abstracted,
for all of those people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was very interesting.
But Sean speaks up.
Yes.
Because the lecturer is like, are there any examples?
Now that I've explained what impunity is, does anybody know an impunity case? So Sean raises his hand and brings up a 2018 truck driver that was extrajudiciously killed for drug trafficking. Tawi owned the company, I believe, but, like, was not held responsible. And wasn't even, like, brought in for questioning.
Of the drug trafficking?
Yes, that the truck driver did, allegedly. Although the assertion is basically, like, he was framed.
Yeah.
And he was killed due to it. And then Sean says, like, Tawi was like, oh, I had nothing to do with it. And so they'd never even, like, questioned him. Like, they were like, okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
And just accepted his word. And that's his example of impunity. Now, I think if I had my thinking cap on, I would put together the crying in the dream and this being recent-ish.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking something is there's
what?
a through line.
And you know what? White was thinking the same thing. Because he was like, to Graham, like, why did he bring up that case?
Yes, he's very confused about... Well, first of all, he's, like, confused why Sean's there. And that's when they're like, because it's a joint lecture. He's poli-sci. And then, yeah, he's just confused. He is perplexed by Sean as a person.
Yeah. He wants to know why he's doing it. this? Like, what is his
immediate
reason?
impression of Sean from episode 1, which is like when they like meet in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It is every single thing that has happened since then is to like break down his first impression.
Yeah.
So like the reading, the like motorcycle bit.
Yeah.
The like all kind of like
The playfulness that he's kind of teasing.
even though I mean like playfulness is the most generous
yeah.
word for what I think is going on here.
Yeah.
But yes.
The teasing. Yeah.
Yes. He's like he's getting a little tickle.
Yeah.
From him.
I'll tickle, little tease. Tickle, tease, and spank.
Okay. So after the lecture, this is where we find out that Graham
And the doll.
and Miss Girl are exes.
Yeah.
Which like slay. And also like slay that they still have like a friendly enough relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then
Mama, welcome to the 60s. Okay. Exes can be friends.
exes
honey.
can be friends. Boys can kiss and exes can be friends. It all happens in BL universes.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but I know you're with that girl from the fine arts faculty now.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, ooh.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
not that.
Not that. Oh, not that.
Now, when he found out about Eugene White, he went to go look
find
at
her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was doing this. Let's talk about a performance art piece.
Honey.
She was doing this like
her and a male dance partner were basically doing like very percussive modern dance or like performance art dance
against their own bodies.
So they were like all red because they kept slapping each other.
Yes, while there was a spoken word
poet that was like reciting basically like injustices.
Yeah, it's thematically coherent with the rest of the show.
Are you getting it?
Yeah. And that was where he saw her, and then she saw him, and then he ran away. And
he ran away.
Just like Blackwood. We all know Black
we
would
all
run
know
away.
Black.
That's the character we've grown to know Black is.
Oh no.
Someone who's very scared of confrontation. So that was where we first see her. Miss Girl is Gorgessa, the house down boots.
She's in jail right now. It's
Yes,
like
I
Pluto.
saw.
I believe is what it's called. Pluto something.
Sure. Pluto is a dwarf planet.
Yeah.
I think is the full name of the show. So this is when I was like, Graham is for sure
dating Eugene. But I don't think the way that the show is going to lead up to it that like there's a nefarious.
No, I don't think so either. It's going to be framed. They're going to frame it as being like, is this why?
Yeah,
but
for
then it's
White
going to
to
be like, oh
pursue
no, I
and
didn't
then
want you to be
realize-
mad at me.
Exactly. It's like I just think she's fucking hot as fuck.
Yeah. And also like, I'm sorry, Graham and Black don't have a bro code. Black seems to be an absolute asshole.
Black doesn't have
who doesn't
friends.
like have friends.
Yeah.
So like it's not like, oh, you're dating your friend's ex. Like
Yeah.
you're dating the guy set houses on fire with ex.
Well, you're also it's not like
Arsonist
you guys are
drug.
ex. It's like you guys like just hung around and like fucked around a little bit. But it doesn't seem like
'cause
Black is an intimate person that wants to have a relationship.
Well, it seems like a running theme in this group is commitment issues because Sean is also like, oh, me and Namo, no, we're just like
she just hangs around. Yeah, it's just
We
someone I
just talk
talk.
to each other.
Guys, don't date an anarchist. It doesn't seem like
I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't know.
I don't know. They can't commit. So they go back to the garage, and Gumpa's like, well, here. To a successful mission completed.
Yeah, we
Here,
burned.
here. Cheers.
We burned the place down, but it has made no.
Well, the media's fully buried it.
Yeah.
They like explain that in this episode that it's like it's full, like it's gone.
It's like it didn't happen.
It's gone, bitch. Now I do think also it's funny. Does he? Oh yeah, because he called Todd like before they went and burned the house down. We did one. Now we have to, keep moving
going.
forward.
What's the next one?
What's the next? What's the next one?
What's the next thing that we should do? Let's go around the table and share what injustice we want to fix this time.
Listen, I don't hate the idea of like being like,
open
what would we
forum.
like to
What
fix?
we want to focus on.
There are no bad ideas in a
Yeah.
brainstorm.
It's just funny. It feels.
I wish
It's
they
funny.
had like
It tickles me.
like things that they were like, I see this is an issue and this is how I would fix it. I'll go along with like we're Guy Fawkesing and
Right.
we're blowing up Parliament. I'll go along with that
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do.
But
There's not even that. They're just like, I just want to fix.
to me,
It's funny.
if I pictured myself being an anarchist,
yeah.
it just feels like they would be like more reactionary. Like they're reading the news. What's constantly happening? What's this person? There's going to be an opening of a new development. There's going to be, you know what I mean? That they're like the way Gumpa is leading it feels like he's the one that's like, oh, there's this. It feels funny to be like, so let's go around the room and let's like talk about what grinds our gears right now and let's see if we can burn it down.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be. I would not say that this is the future leaders of Thailand.
Yeah.
Sitting at this table.
Yeah.
But
You gotta start somewhere, I guess.
you got to start somewhere.
So I guess it's like, okay.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. Graham.
Well, White goes first, and he's like, it's a secret.
It's a.
What's my issue with society? Nepotism. No, sorry. Just not.
Yeah, he literally goes, shh.
Graham says the justice system
All.
in totality. D. All of the above. What part? All of it.
I don't know. I haven't thought it through, but I just feel like the justice system isn't
fine,
just.
but I think it's fine. I think it's fine to be like the justice system is a problem. I think we gotta just like, what's the next? Where do we go?
Yeah. This is how. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're training.
Because I don't know. Okay, okay.
It's funny. Okay, go through everyone.
I
and
like
I'll
this
tell you-
one. So Yaka's disabilities.
Yes.
He wants people with disabilities to be treated equally to everyone else.
Yes.
Like that. That's good.
Yeah.
And then Sean's is just Tawi's existence.
I know. And
Which
Adam-
is like society. My problem with society is this singular
Is this
person.
one guy.
Now, Tawi was representative of the elite class,
Yes.
the oligarchs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it's standing in for. But I do think it's very funny. That's like, if we kill Tawi, I think
I think that
cooking.
fixes everything.
Yeah, I think we're done.
But when we were watching it, Adam literally was like, so the choices are fix the entire judicial system of Thailand. Pass
It's Clarence Thomas,
Clarence Thomas
the Americans with
The
Disabilities
Disabilities
Act,
or Elon Musk.
or Elon Musk. Those are the. And listen, framing
Great.
it like that, I might be on board. We just got to reframe. We got to reframe.
You gotta reframe, put it in our perspective, our context.
I want to say, as an American, the Americans with Disabilities Act, while not a perfect piece of legislation, nothing is, I do think it's one of our better achievements that we've made in the last 50 years in this
Yes,
country. And I'll
honey.
be very honest about that.
Yes.
Is it executed perfectly? No.
No.
Is there easy ways to report when it's not followed? No. But on the whole, I think it's an impressive thing that we did as a country.
And I
Period.
think we should keep working on it for sure.
I don't think it's done.
No.
I don't think, but that's the thing is like, there's no done. There's no done.
That's
the worst part. That was
Yes.
the worst part of realizing over the past, like, I think like 12 years is that it's like, oh, even if
We pass
even
X,
if
Y, and
like
Z.
everybody that I wanted to win and everything that I wanted to pass got passed, then I would sit back and be like, okay, well, there's more. It would be
Yeah.
the what's next. It would
Yeah.
be the, like, we did the mission. What's the next mission?
Right.
But like in not an anarchy way.
Not
but
an
in, like,
anarchy
the
way.
regular democracy kind of
Yes.
way. You know what? I'm on their side. I'm gonna be so honest. Give me a damn torch. Give me a little
Henny.
gas can.
Give me a little Molotov.
Just talking about it makes me so angry. And then I have to go watch my little boys kiss each other and like calm the fuck down.
I know.
Okay. So if you don't think that conversation is crazy enough, the way they're going to decide what to do is they're going to play a party game.
Which, I mean, like, okay, it's like Russian roulette, but in like a non-killing way, right? It's like
yes,
drawing straws, whatever.
Yes, it's
but
just the fact that it's the
actual crocodile.
Yeah,
that they'll play it like
so funny.
Run BTS, like it's like
yes.
it's what
it's that she's the girl. She is the girl. But yes, they are just, and I guess, I mean, this fits in the theme of like, just it's just the whims of fate.
The whims of fate.
Choose what we're gonna do next. So
White obviously wins.
White wins, and then they're like, "Well, what do you want to do? Because you said yours was a secret." And he's like, "I'll give it to
Sean.
To Sean.
Let's just do Sean's.
Let's
because I already won the last one.
Let's take Taui out."
Yeah. And Sean was like, I don't need your fucking pity vote.
I think I would have picked disabilities. It felt the most tangible.
I know. If I was there, big. Well, it seems like you actually have a plan.
I don't know what you do.
They would
do. That,
I don't know. I think just more of a demonstration than anything. Because that's their thing, is make big moves.
The arson was just a big fuck you. But most of it's like, we're going to do spray paint. We're gonna hang a banner.
Yeah.
Which Sean like gets annoyed that he picks him.
I think he doesn't want to be pitied by him.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Listen, White wasn't coming in here with any ideas.
No.
Okay.
But also, Black was a dick.
Black was clearly an asshole.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I really hope he comes. I hope he comes back at some point. I'm going to say episode 10.
Okay.
Ooh, 14 episodes. I'm going to say episode 11.
Okay.
He's going to be healed, and we're going to have, like, Black's back.
And I think Gunn is going to be crazy. I think
he's going to turn it the fuck out.
Yeah. What if Black ends up being the last big bad?
I don't think he would do that.
Like his own ego is.
But I don't think this show is interested in subverting those types of tropes. Yeah. Like, I think it's really trying to be like, this show is a call to action. Which I totally respect. After their meeting where they decided that they're going to take care of Taui.
After they play a round of N o'clock.
Yeah. They go, White goes back to Black's apartment room condo.
Because he texted Eugene throughout the episode, like, I want to talk.
Yeah.
And she's already
Eugene's
there.
waiting for him.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, sexy, sexy. They have a whiskey drink. They have a vodka drink. They have a...
It's just vodka because White is Russian.
Right. They have a bunch of vodka. They fall asleep together.
He tries to get her drunk to, I think, be able to ask her, like, hey, did you kill Black?
Hey, you remember when I got beat up?
Was that you? But that's the thing. If it was anyone in the circle or that is in Black's life, they would be like,
I don't think
holy
he thinks
shit,
it's her.
It's Black.
I don't think he thinks it's her. I think she might have information about
who could it be?
Who is an enemy of Black's, is my guess.
Okay.
So they just fall asleep. There's no sexy time. They do make out a little bit. That's fun for the girls.
Two sisters, giving a little peck.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Gunn's doing great.
He is.
I would kiss the fuck out of Gunn. His lips are huge. Ooh, God, he's so attractive. They fall asleep together. They wake up the next day. Eugene leaves quickly, and
because White sees a text, an email actually. It was an email icon.
Yeah,
they need to figure that out. That
maybe
it's like
maybe that's their WhatsApp.
It's like, are you still at Black's? Let's meet up.
Yeah.
So she leaves right away in a cab that is painted like the Brazilian flag.
Yeah, is this what cabs look like?
Green and yellow, bitch.
Green and yellow, amazing. I love. He follows her, and does exactly what we said halfway through the episode, which is she meets up with Graham.
Yep.
And so that's the reveal, is that her and Graham are
an item of some kind because they're yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would Mond.
Oh,
Black seemed like an asshole.
And I think he actually likes you.
And I think he likes you.
Because that was the whole thing. Eugene was like, "Are you done being like mad at me? Or like, have you forgiven me
for what I said?"
Which makes me think maybe she probably was like, "Are we fucking dating or not?"
Yeah.
Hello?
I liked this episode actually a lot.
I did.
You can say it. Whatever you want to say.
I did like it. It's sowing the seeds.
I liked it because we got back on
White's agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just a lot of... I mean, the set... Because we're watching the YouTube episodes, so they're like short.
Mm-hmm.
They are short.
The 4 segments, yeah. It's a 45-minute show.
Yeah.
It's very short in comparison. Especially to like... We just also watched My School President, and...
Those got longer.
And like by the end, they were like almost like 75 minutes each.
So... I think the doll was my MVP because I'm glad that she wasn't just like one episode girly. But I'll give it to Sean. I think in this episode, I'll give it to Off.
I actually almost cried when he was crying.
I know he was very vulnerable.
That was when I was like, oh, I actually don't think I ever want to see Off cry.
I know.
I think that's too much for me.
Because there were moments in Cooking Crush where he was like, got to that level when he would think about his
dead mom. Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen here too. I think something happened. What if his dad was the truck driver?
His dad had to be the truck driver. That's 100% what it is.
What it's going to be.
It's either his dad or like his older brother.
Yeah.
Those are the only two options. Otherwise, and if it's not, if that case that he brought up does not come back in any way, I will be gagged. I would be shocked because like that would explain why he's so upset about
Towie.
Yeah. Fully. Who's my MVP for the week? I'm gonna give it to Little Miss Eugene. I'm actually gonna give it. Can I give it to a scene?
Sure.
I actually really liked the performance art scene. Although it was like, whoa, we're doing this.
It's art.
I did really like
that it was like a real performance art piece.
Yeah, it actually felt real.
It wasn't like, okay, we're going to stage a performance art piece. I was like, no, I could see this being an exhibit.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Something about, I mean, and also like our college experience was very different because we were in like fine arts.
Right.
And so like when people have these like lectures in classrooms, I'm like, oh, that's so interesting.
That's what people did in college.
Yeah, that's normal.
That's normal.
What we did, which was that bullshit, that's not normal.
Yeah.
But that's when I was like, oh yeah, this is a college thing.
Because the way it looked like they were doing this piece, but there were students like painting. Yeah. Or like drawing.
They were all like rehearsing.
It was
like, yeah.
That's literally what our life was.
Yeah. And then just wearing the like
just
nude.
Skims. Skims?
Skims. Yeah. But not Skims. Like the flesh colored, like, yeah. Yeah, it took me back. And we didn't even like do performance art specifically in that way, but like it definitely took me back to our movement class.
Movement class for sure. 409, baby. 409. Join us on patreon.com/boysloveboyslove where you can watch our reactions to this episode every week if you join the Bows and the Bobs. They also get to vote the next show once this is done. Once this and Kingdom is done. So if you want to be a part of that, exercise your right in democracy, join Patreon so you can vote. But it's a bunch of fun stuff there too. If you join the Bows and the Bobs, you also automatically get what the Berets get, which is all of the K-pop stuff, basically. All of our reactions and variety shows. So come join us at Patreon and we'll see you there.
Goodbye.